£27 is the difference between staying broke and having £10,000 in your account this year. Most people think saving £10,000 in a year is impossible, but that's only because they've never been taught the right way to do it. So in this video, I'll show you the exact step-by-step process on how £27 turns into £10,000 this year and what makes this different from other savings advice that you've heard that didn't work and left you feeling frustrated. This system is so easy to follow, and the best part is that it isn't some risky investment scheme or a side hustle that will consume your life. This is a method that's 100% safe, practically runs itself, and will have you £10,000 quicker and easier than you ever thought was possible. So stick with me for the next 2 minutes, because by the end of the video, you have everything you need to start building your £10,000 before you go to sleep tonight. This isn't just about having money in the bank, it's about waking up with the confidence that you can handle whatever life throws at you. The security of knowing you're not one emergency away from disaster, and the freedom to make choices based on what you want, not what you can afford. But before we dive in, you're probably wondering, am I even the type of person who can pull this off? Because let's be honest, you've probably tried saving before and it's not worked out. The brutal truth is that this system isn't for everyone. It only works for a specific type of person. If you're looking for a complicated investment strategy or a get-rich-quick kind of scheme, then this isn't for you. You need to be the kind of person who can follow a simple step-by-step system and then let your money do the hard work. You don't need any special finance knowledge, no degree in maths, no perfect credit score, and not even a six-figure income. So if you're the person who wants a simple system that automatically builds wealth, then you're exactly the type of person that this was designed for. I'm about to show you a calculation that's so simple that when you see it, you'll wonder how you ever thought saving £10,000 was impossible. You might be sitting there wondering, well, where does that £27 come from? This isn't about finding an extra £27 under your sofa or hiding in your car. This is about understanding that £27 a day pretty much equals £10,000 in a year. When I tell you that you can save £10,000 in a year, you're thinking about it like you're climbing up Mount Everest. You're standing there from the bottom, looking up and thinking, geez, there's no way that I can get up there. But you're looking at it completely wrong. If you just think about it one step at a time, then it's so much more achievable. When you break £10,000 down into £27 a day, suddenly it's just skipping one takeaway, cancelling a subscription you forgot about, or walking instead of getting an Uber. The first place that people fail when trying to do this is they try to find that £27 purely through willpower. I'm not sure if you've ever tried holding your breath for 10 minutes before, but I bet that you'll struggle. You might manage it for a couple of minutes or so, but eventually you're going to breathe. This is exactly what happens when you try to start spending money. After a while, you get the urge to go and treat yourself. The key isn't to cut out all of your spending, but to plan for it. Try creating a small, separate pot of savings that's just for guilt-free purchases, whether it's a coffee, new clothes, or a new bit of tech. By giving yourself permission and a budget for these things, you still get the pleasure of spending, but without the guilt, because you know it's already accounted for in your plan. But how do you actually start setting aside money to start building that £10,000? There's something that separates the people who successfully save money from the people who just think about saving money but never actually do it. So instead of keeping your bank account stacked full of cash that's tempting you to spend, I want you to use the set and forget method. This is like having a personal assistant who's obsessed with your financial future. Every month, £833 gets moved from your current account into a separate savings account before you even know it's gone. Not £800, not £850, exactly £833. You can open a Vanguard account and put it into a fund that will probably earn you over 7% interest, which means your money is growing whilst you're sleeping. Set up a direct debit for the day after your salary comes in. The only way that you're going to hit your goal of saving £10,000 this year is that if you treat saving money like a bill that you have to pay. The number one rule is that you should pay yourself first, and then feel free to spend whatever else you have left over. And remember, this isn't just about building your bank balance. Every pound you automatically save is buying you freedom from stressing about money. You don't want to still be renting in your 60s, do you? But even if you get your savings automated, there's a massive problem with this approach that trips nearly everyone up. And if you don't solve this next issue, you'll be back to square one within 3 months. The problem is that you can't save £833 a month if you're spending £833 a month on complete rubbish. I'm not talking about your rent or your food shopping. I'm talking about the stuff that you buy and then forget about in a month. Let's start with the big 3 expenses that are probably bleeding you dry without you even realizing it. First up is your house. If you're spending more than 30% of your income on rent or mortgage payments, you're essentially running a marathon with a backpack full of bricks. Either get a housemate, move somewhere cheaper, or if you own your place, consider renting out a room. So many people I know can cover their entire mortgage payment just by renting out their spare room on Airbnb. Next up is transport. If you're financing a car that costs more than 10% of your annual income, then this is a massive red flag. That £400 a month car payment could be your entire savings goal. Look into buying a reliable used car, or better yet, walk or cycle to work. That £400 a month is so much better off in your Vanguard account earning compound interest instead of sitting on your driveway just losing your money. When I was living in London, I had a perfectly decent car sitting outside my flat. But every time I wanted to go somewhere, I was spending a tenner on petrol and then another tenner on parking, just to sit in traffic for well over an hour. So I bought a second-hand bike off Facebook Marketplace for £100, and this was the best decision that I made that year. I was getting around fast in the cars, getting fitter, and easily saving £200 a month. That bike paid for itself in 2 weeks. Third is food. And I'm not saying to live on rice and beans like you're an I'm a celeb, but if you're spending over £300 a month on takeaways and meal deals, you're basically funding everyone else's retirement instead of your own. Batch cook on Sundays, pack your lunch for work, and stop ordering Deliveroo when you've got food in your fridge. But even if you sort these things out that are draining your money, there's still a sneaky little leak that's probably costing you thousands a year. And most people don't even know that it exists. The average person spends over £2,000 a year through apps on their phone. It might be Amazon or it might be ASOS. Whatever your weakness is, there's an easy way to avoid this. If you want to buy something, then you should make it more of an effort for it to happen. If you have to physically type in a website address or go searching for something, then this gives your brain time to think, do I actually need this or am I just bored? Because if you're sitting there scrolling through apps, then this is where you're going wrong. Do you really want to be working until you're 70 because you couldn't resist buying something that you should have sent back? Delete the apps and turn off all notifications. You know those little red badges that tell you when there's a sale or there's an offer on? They're designed by psychologists whose job it is to separate you from your money. Set up a 24-hour rule for any purchases that are over £50. Write it down or put it in your notes app, but don't buy it immediately. Most of the time, you'll realize that you don't actually need it. So now you cut out all of your bad spending habits. But even with perfect expense control, some of you still won't hit that £10,000 target because you're still coming up short. So tell me, what's easier, trying to squeeze another £300 out of your already tight budget, or finding an extra £300 from income streams you haven't even considered yet? This isn't me telling you to start trading crypto or to take up another side hustle that's going to take up 40 hours of your precious time. This is about finding an extra £200 to £300 a month through things you can do in your spare time. Facebook Marketplace is a gold mine that most people ignore. Go through your stuff right now and find 20 things that you haven't used in the last year. The exercise bike gathering dust, those books that you'll never read again, or old clothes sitting in your wardrobe that you haven't worn in ages. I guarantee you've got at least £500 worth of stuff that you can sell this month. If you've got a skill, then look into freelancing. If you can write, edit videos, or design logos, this is an easy way to make £20 to £100 for a service that might take you less than an hour. Do 2 jobs a week and you've easily covered your savings goal. If any of your friends or family run a business, then you can ask them if you can help them out. Most small business owners would easily pay £100 to £200 a month for someone reliable to help them with the social media, basic admin, or customer service. It might not be everything you've dreamed of, but it's easy money that fits around your main job, and you never know what it might lead to. The key is to think of this extra income as money you've already spent. Put it straight into your savings account, not into your current account, or you just spend it on rubbish. But even with all of this perfectly set up, there's still one massive trap that destroys most people's savings goals, and it's got nothing to do with money. Most people fail to save £10,000 because they're waiting for the perfect moment to start. They tell themselves to start when they get paid next month or after Christmas and the New Year. But there's never a perfect moment. Starting today is so much better than waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. If you can only save £15 a day instead of £27, then start with 15. If you can only automate £400 a month instead of £833, then start with 400. You don't want to be 50, looking at your empty savings account, wishing that you started the exact day that you watched this video. Every day that you don't save is the day that your money could have been growing. Think of it like planting a tree. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now. Your £10,000 savings goal is that tree. And every day you wait is another day that it could have been growing. Now you can follow everything that I've said in this video perfectly, but if you don't know the 9 things that most men waste their money on, then you're essentially trying to fill a bucket that's got holes in it. So watch this video next to see the biggest money drains that keeping millions of men broke without them even realizing it.